true advocate for accountability, both corporate and political. Robert.
Thank you, Justin. The reason this trial is so important is that it fundamentally concerns Donald Trump's effort, successful as it turned out, to interfere in the 2016 election. And it is vital that Americans understand this case to be an election interference case. It is vital that the media talk about this as an election interference case. Let's set the context. On October 7th, 2016, the Access Hollywood tape was made public. We forget now, but in the wake of the Access Hollywood tape, candidate Trump's campaign was in a tailspin. Leading Republicans were openly wondering whether he should remove himself from the top of the ticket or be removed from the top of the ticket. In that context, another scandal would have been a nail in the coffin for candidate Trump. When it emerged that a woman with whom he had an affair, an adult movie star with whom he had an affair, was poised to make that fact public, Trump decided he had to act. And he had to act to suppress the information from becoming public. He had to suppress the public from knowing about what was going on. And he did it by making illegal and improper payments. So this case is not about an affair. It is not about the payment to cover up the affair. It is not about business records, even though that is what the criminal allegations directly regard. And its most fundamental, this case is about election interference. And we know that because Donald Trump told us, or at least he told his cohorts. He told them, try not to make the payment before the election, and then we don't have to make it at all. The only thing that mattered to Trump was not his relationship with his family, not any sense of embarrassment, but how the information would have affected the election. As this case moves forward, Donald Trump, indicted by a jury of his peers, will have the opportunity to make his defense, as is his sacred right. But from what we know, the evidence is overwhelming against him. Michael Cohen has pled guilty to charges related to this case. AMI, the National Enquirer media outfit, entered into a non-prosecution agreement on facts related to this case. The person who made the alleged payments is ready to testify. The payment who received the alleged payments is ready to testify. The business records show that Donald Trump knowingly made the payments and did not actually record them properly. So Donald Trump will have his chance to make his case, but the facts look overwhelming. He engaged in election interference, and if he's found guilty of that, he must be punished accordingly, according to the criminal laws of New York State. Last, it is important for people to understand that this 2016 election interference is part of a pattern of Donald Trump interfering improperly, illegally, and criminally with elections. There is this case. The first impeachment was an election interference case. The second impeachment was an election interference case. In 2020, it is alleged by prosecutor Jack Smith, Donald Trump engaged in a wide-ranging conspiracy to overturn the legitimate results of the election. Well, in a democracy, a couple of things are clear. One is that nobody is above the law, not even a president or a former president. And another is that election results must be respected. Elections must take place according to proper rules, the count must be legitimate, and the results must be respected. That's why so much is at stake in this trial. That's why the media needs to make sure they report about it properly as an election interference case. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Our next speaker knows a thing or two about New York criminal law. He was previously the Assistant Attorney General of New York. Tristan Snell is the author of Taking Down Trump, 12 Rules for Prosecuting Donald Trump by Someone Who Did It Successfully. He's a lawyer, legal commentator for MSNBC, NPR, The Washington Post, and The Wall Street Journal. Tristan.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for coming out today. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. This once upon a time in America, there was a wicked man. He engaged in massive housing discrimination, stopping virtually all black applicants who wanted to move into his apartment complexes. But yet there were zero consequences. That same man attacked 5 black teenagers who were falsely and wrongfully accused of a crime they did not commit, saying that they should receive the death penalty. And again, there were no consequences. That same man has over time refused to pay hundreds, likely thousands of vendors, many of them small business owners who were then forced to go out of business because he did not pay them because he just didn't feel like paying them. And yet there were no consequences. For 40 years, this wicked man got away with everything because of his bullying, his personal attacks, and because he knew exactly which politicians to cozy up to make investigations mysteriously disappear. But in the last 10 years, the tide has started to turn against this man. He ripped off more than 6,000 people with a fake university and had to pay them back $25 million. He and his family ripped off donors to their foundation. He had to pay back $2 million and the foundation was shut down. He committed rampant fraud in financial statements and was found liable for $464 million worth of fraud by the New York Attorney General in this building not too long ago. He and 26 women have accused him of sexual assault, and one brave woman defeated him in this courthouse here twice. And he now owes her $88 million. And now this same wicked man faces 88 felony criminal counts in 4 cases, including down the street right here today. We still have a massive problem in this country, and it's the thing that we most need to be talking about. In 2004, Barack Obama spoke of the problem of the 2 Americas, one liberal, one conservative. But today, in 2024, that is not the divide that plagues our nation the most. Our 2 Americas are different. One America for the corrupt and powerful oligarchs who have fleeced this nation and sit on high in contempt of our Constitution and our democracy and the rule of law, and another America for the rest of us. One America where Supreme Court justices are bought off with private jets and luxury super yacht vacations, and another America for the rest of us. One America where billionaires and celebrities can buy their way out of investigations and intimidate witnesses, prosecutors, judges, and jurors. And another America for the rest of us. But maybe, just maybe, that starts to change today. Don't let anyone tell you that today is a sad day for America. Today is a glorious day for America. A day when we finally begin to reclaim our nation, to reestablish the grand principle of equal justice under law. A day when we, the people, demanded justice, insisted on accountability. We were the ones who pushed our elected and appointed prosecutors to take action against Donald Trump and his decades of depravity. Why are we here today? Why is today different? Because we demanded it. We made it possible. We, the people, and we, the members of the media, are the ones who made that possible. You are the ones who made that possible. In these buildings here, these government buildings, and I used to work in one of them down the street, there are hundreds of dedicated public servants in these buildings. They're working tirelessly on these cases, and then some politician comes in and tells them we're not going to greenlight this case. Their work is impossible. Their work is impossible. The hundreds of dedicated public servants in there, their work is impossible without the millions of dedicated public citizens out here. This is what democracy looks like. This is what the rule of law looks like. This is what a republic looks like. And by the way, the rest of America, take note, because New York is now 5-0 at defeating Donald Trump and his cronies in prosecutions here. We're starting case number 6 right now. Once we finally started bringing him to justice, it turns out we're pretty damn good at it. And the rest of you have some catching up to do. We also need, though, to stop calling this the hush money case.
Yeah.
As the speakers here are telling you, this is a campaign cover-up case. Let's start calling it what it is. This was a cover-up to steal the 2016 election. The charge in the indictment may be for falsifying business records, but the real crime is far deeper than that. It was a crime against the American people to hide the truth from us so that he could steal that election. It was a crime against the Constitution of the United States of America, as were the crimes in question in Atlanta, in Florida, and in Washington, D.C. They're coming next. It is up to us, the public and the media, to make sure that justice is served. We have arrived at this glorious day for America. We have many difficult and glorious days ahead of us. We must keep fighting, keep advocating, keep organizing, keep making your voices heard online with your representatives and in the streets. Do not wait for the prosecutors. Do not wait for the elected officials. Yes, they hold the bad guys accountable. But we have to hold the good guys accountable because they answer to us. We are the justice we've been waiting for. Don't forget that. Keep fighting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tristan. Next is Adam Smith. Adam is the Vice President of Democracy at CREW, the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. He's been an instrumental figure in holding Trump accountable, including bringing efforts to change Trump's candidacy for his violation of the 14th Amendment. Adam.
Good morning, everyone. I am, as he said, Adam Smith, Vice President at Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, or CREW, where we have filed lawsuits, legal complaints, released reports and investigations highlighting all the ways in which Donald Trump has violated the law, violated ethical norms. But today, no matter what Donald Trump says or what he puts on Truth Social or what his attorneys say, there's only one reason what's happening is happening over there in that courthouse. Because he hid information relevant to voters, he lied about it, and then he tried to cover it up. And when he did that, he broke the law. And he is the only one responsible for the consequences. He sought to illegally interfere in the election and hide the truth about his behavior from the American people. This is a serious crime, and it's also one that people have gone to jail for. And I think that's an important point. Hundreds of people have been charged with a similar crime. They didn't get special favors because they weren't powerful. They weren't former presidents. And the same thing's happening here. Americans deserve to know who they're voting for and the vested interests of those who are supporting those candidates or covering up their embarrassing secrets. By trying to hide the true source of financial support his campaign received, Donald Trump undermined our democracy and left the public in the dark about who he was. This trial may be unprecedented in our politics, but Donald Trump is an unprecedented figure. We have never seen a political leader so unmoored from ethical and legal behavior. After Trump's efforts to hide information from voters in 2016, which he got away with for a long time, we saw how his brazen disregard for our democracy escalated in 2020 with a violent insurrection in an attempt to retain power. He has repeatedly jeopardized American democracy by stoking chaos and disorder. But Donald Trump doesn't get a pass or a get-out-of-jail-free card for any of this simply because he's rich or famous or powerful. That is not how our system is supposed to work. And as the indictment shows, and I'm going to read it here to get it right, Trump orchestrated a scheme with others to influence the 2016 presidential election by identifying and purchasing negative information about him to suppress his publication and benefit the defendant's electoral prospects. Concealing this secret payment, including lying in official documents to cover it up, is a serious criminal offense. Again, a criminal offense which hundreds of people have been charged with. Donald Trump isn't even the first politician. to be charged with this. This is a routine matter, and he should go through the routine process. Like everyone else, like all of those people who've been charged with this crime previously, Donald Trump deserves a fair and swift trial, and we think he's going to get one. As this trial proceeds and evidence on both sides is presented to jurors who will decide his fate, we hope justice will be done without fear or favor. Because nobody is above the law in this country, and that includes the President of the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. I want to thank Robert, Tristan, and Adam. I also want to thank the actors from Rise and Resist New York who helped to provide the signage for today and are part of this effort. I also want to indicate to the media that Robert, Adam, and Tristan are available for interviews after this activity if you would like. Thank you all very much.
Still shooting?
Do you have more use for it here? Yeah, let's check it.
Sorry. Hey.
There's more.
It almost looks kind of nice.
What?
It almost looks kind of nice.
Oh, yeah. With some action, you know?
They're available for interviews for a few minutes, and then we're going to head over there. So.
Great, thank you.
You want to come? Let me go over there. Oh, yeah.
Are they like bringing the signage over there, or?
The family style wasn't really working.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are we gonna do?
We're just going to do like
Okay. Good job. Thank you.
I finally got a rec. I've been over for classic. 3 out of res. We've been to Lilia. It's so hard to go there. But Jason had alerts on like every day.
I'm not sure.
Individual
I saw on Slack.
So I'm finally going, and I have her pasta books.
Yeah.
Which I've like cooked for. So now I'll eat the real deal.
That's really cool. I'm very interested in making it my. I'm like looking for someone to be like, you have to go, but I just don't have that person in my life.
Well, yeah. I don't know that many people. I will say my cousin
perhaps I should have said something like, just like those fell, so will him, so will Trump, or whatever. But I'm not quick enough.
The improv.
Yeah.
For the job. Sorry.
No. I like to keep these silence. I love watching them. One day I will not be free. Just something like that. I'm gonna trust you to tell us. I don't know. You never told me.
I don't have anything around here.
It's like
Oh, yes, it happened that.
it's a little like
Yes. I'm on like 4 o'clock. I've added some time.